Hi guys, Darth Deuce here with another figure video, and today we're going to take a look at the Force Friday wave of Black Series 6 figures, or I guess more accurately, the ones I picked up, which I picked up, obviously, as you can see, the vast chunk of the figures that were released. The only ones I didn't get was the Jawa and Rey. I'm not in a rush to get Rey. It looks like a good figure and all that, but as a character, I don't hate her as a character. It's just, I'm not really too stoked about figures for Rey. It just is what it is. And then I have no interest in that Jawa. It's just almost complete reuse and just repaints, and I don't have much interest in it. But it's still a cool little figure. It's just I can't spend full price for it. But I got all the rest of them, so I wanted to talk about them. I thought I could do separate videos, but I figure I just do them all in one video. Just do quick little talks about all of them. And instead of ranking them at the end, I will just talk to them about them in order of my least favorite to my most favorite. But to keep in mind, I really like all of these figures. None of these figures are bad. It was a extremely solid wave of Black Series figures. I like them all, but obviously some are going to be better than others. The first one I'm going to talk about is the Kylo Ren. And the only reason, I really like this Kylo Ren, the only reason he is my least favorite is he's one of the figures that uses the most reuse. As far as I can tell, the entire body, aside from the new cape, the new helmet, is all reused from the previous Last Jedi Kylo Ren, which is fine. The design, aside from the cape and helmet, hasn't changed as far as we can see from the trailers. And that body, for the most part, I think is more than fine to use. So reuse makes sense here. But it isn't a new mold, so that's the only reason why it's not my favorite. But I really like it. It has good articulation. You got the lightsaber hilt, you can attach the belt, and you got the lightsaber, looks really good. I really like the new cape. It gives him that very Supreme Leader, regal sort of look, which I really like, and it's got some really nice molding. I like the hood. The hood's really cool, and I really like the helmet, which we'll get into a little bit more here in a sec. One small issue is the cape, just the way it is the hood doesn't sit completely perfectly. It doesn't look bad the way it looks right here, but there is a bit of extra space. If you push the cape forward a bit, it kind of looks a bit better, but it won't really stay like that. So it is what it is, not a big deal. But what I really like about this figure is the whole like swappable hoods, so you can actually untab the hood part, and you can, this is how it comes packaged. It comes packaged with the put down hood, and you can just, tab that in, and the system works surprisingly well, and it looks pretty good. I like how that looks as well, just resting, and then you can get a better look at the helmet, which I believe is a new mold, or it is a new mold because it's some of these lines are molded, I'm pretty sure, and you get the painted, I guess, fuse lines, so that's really cool. I don't think the helmet's too big on the body. The helmet should be bigger than a head, so a head can fit in it. And he does look a little hunched, but if you move the head back a bit on that hinge, it doesn't look as bad. I do really like this figure. It's really cool, but it doesn't bring a whole lot new, which is why it's not my favorite. And the next one's actually the Sith Trooper. Again, this is really good. I'd say it's probably one of the best Trooper figures we've gotten, engineering-wise, from the Black Series line. I like the red. On camera, it doesn't look as good. It looks a bit more plastic on camera, but in person, it looks a lot better. It's got a nice gloss to it, as you can see. I really just like the design. I think the red is quite striking, and I really like the more sharper, blockier design of the armor, while still keeping that First Order Stormtrooper sort of look. I'm really excited to see what kind of role these guys will play in the movie. I'm hoping it's not just like a one-scene thing and that's it. I hope they play a somewhat significant role in the film. But it's pretty cool, he's got great articulation. He's got the elbows that can bend 9 degrees. He actually has butterfly joints, which aren't crazy, but they still work really nicely to get aiming poses. Comes with the 2 Sith Trooper blasters, and you can tab them onto the hip, which is really cool. It's cool you still get 2 blasters. They could have just given you the 1, but they give you 2 still. It's not the whole weapons as the exclusive, but still pretty good. I like actually the molding and paint on the undersuit. It actually looks really convincing as an undersuit. I don't know why it's a detail that stands out to me, but it is. It's pretty cool. And you can also get natural or relatively natural kneeling poses with this figure as well. So that's really cool. I really like this one. Next, we'll talk about the second sister here. I thought she'd be my second favorite, but She's not. I got the carbonized graphite one, which I think looks really good on this figure. I really like the shine to it. I really like the design for this character. I like the sort of Vader-esque helmet, but it's still different enough not to differentiate from Vader. Really like the cape. Again, another sort of design choice that makes her look a bit more regal, which I really like. I love the shiny red paint on the inside of the cape. That looks really cool. And you got the logos right here, which is nice. Articulation's pretty good on the figure. I really like the double-bladed lightsaber. Inquisitor saber, that's really cool. Articulation's a little hindered when you have the cape on, obviously, but a cool feature is you can unplug the cape from her shoulders. And she comes with some separate shoulder pads. You can just kind of slot onto the shoulders there. So you can get more articulation if you want to remove the cape. You can do that. I personally prefer the cape on. I think the cape looks way better on, but this is how you get more articulation. So, is what it is. But I really like this one a lot. This is one of the ones I want to get the most. So this one's really cool. Stand up. Now, surprisingly, I didn't get this one on Force Friday. I got him like a week after. Cal Kestis, surprisingly my second favorite of the wave. I was not expecting to like this figure as much as I do, but I really do. It's a really fun figure to play around with, a really good-looking Star Wars character and figure. It's really well done. Pretty cool figure. It's got the face print, which looks good. I don't think it's 100% to the actor that does the face capture, but I think it still looks pretty good. I really like the design of the outfit. It would have been cool if he came with his poncho that he wears over this in the game, but that's not a big deal. It's got these like tools and stuff on him, and straps look really cool. It's got the lightsaber. He has a really big hilt. I don't really know what's up with that, but I think it is relatively accurate to the game. So, yeah, you got that. And you got the nice blue blade, which you can remove if you want. Unfortunately, nowhere to store the lightsaber on his belt or anything. That's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. Some pretty cool articulation stuff going on here, too. You get all the standard Black Series stuff that you want, some good elbow bend, but you also get another figure with butterfly joint hidden in there. Again, it's not crazy butterfly joint, but it is there, so that's a really cool thing. Moves really well, just really fun to pose around and play with, really. You can just do a lot of stuff with this figure. It's really cool. And then you also get his nice little, I think his name is BD1, I think. This is a little droid. I really like his little droid. It's kind of like a little mini ATST or something with little legs. Really cool. He's got a lot of nice little paint apps on him. Looks really cool. You can do a lot of just cool little poses with him and his droid. And he has some nice articulation. He's got a ball joint at the neck. He's got like the little ball joint at the shoulder and a hinge at the little knee thing. So you can actually pose him around a little bit. That's really cool. Alright, and then lastly, of course, is The Mandalorian, which was my most wanted figure from this wave. I was pretty lucky to get it, honestly, because any other time I ran into this wave, which is a couple other times, he was the only figure that wasn't there at the store. So I got really lucky and was able to snag him. I think he'll become easier to get soon. But, yeah, this is really cool. Just a standard release. I got the white packaging one, first edition or whatever. I wouldn't mind getting the carbonized one eventually, but I have no idea where that's going to be released in Canada, if it's going to be released in Canada. So, I'm not too worried about it. I like this one. The one thing I don't like about the carbonized one is that it shines up the cloth. It doesn't bother me so much on the Second Sister, but it bothers me a little bit on the Mandalorian. But it also makes the helmet shinier, so. But I really like this figure. I love the design. He's got that gunslinger, Wild West sort of look to him, while still being Star Wars related. I'm a big fan of Mandalorian, so that's a big win right there. I'm hoping the show's really awesome. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with this figure, and it's just really good, dude. The helmet is awesome. I think proportionally it works more or less. So now one thing's interesting, it actually looks like they molded a head underneath and put like a helmet and just glued it on. That's kind of interesting how the way they did that. Maybe they were planning to do a removable helmet one eventually when the face is finally revealed, maybe. But the visor looks good. He's got like this dust marks on the helmet, which is really cool. And all throughout the armor, you've got like these dents and dings with the silver paint on it. Looks really good. I like how his armor is a bit salvaged and mismatched. Like you have like a shore trooper shin guard there and the Shore Trooper shoulder plate on this side is really cool, but you still got the Mandalorian sort of chest plate and gauntlets, which is nice. A very Boba Fett looking knee guard. Very cool, very cool. The plastic cape is cool. I kind of wish it was cloth. It'd just be better for poses, but the plastic works for like just standing there. But when you want to get really good dynamic poses, it's a little bit of a hindrance. Not because it hinders movement, but just because it's so stiff and it doesn't look right. Articulation is really good, man. He's got like the double ball joint in the head. He has a lot of movement there. He has ball hinge in his shoulder, which I kind of wish would move a bit more out. I can't. These are pretty tight. If I force it, it will kind of go up, but it doesn't like to go too much. But this does get out of the way. He also actually has butterfly joints hidden in there. It's not super movable, but it is there, which is really cool. And he's got the hinges at the shoulders, move about the 90 degrees, maybe a little bit more. You got a great torso joint, good hip joints, swivels at the thighs, the double hinges of the knees, the hinges of the ankles all move really well. It's a really good moving figure. He's got the right hinge joints. He has the up and down, which I like for both weapons, which you get the blaster pistol, which he holds really snugly and looks really good. It's got a little bit of paint, but the little bit of paint really does make it look really good. And you can holster it in the holster, which can also have the strap fastened. And you also get the rifle, which can store on the back. It's really cool. It goes through the strap, and there's also supposed to go into a hole, but the peg's actually too big for the hole, so it doesn't go in the hole, but it will just stay securely on the bandolier, so it's not a big deal. And I like the rifle. It's a callback to the holiday special Boba Fett rifle staff thing. And because of that wrist hinge, you can actually get decent aiming poses with this rifle, which is really cool. And it's just a absolutely fantastic figure. And overall, this wave is really, really good, honestly. And it's only really good if you're a fan of any of these characters. If you're not crazy about the new movie, if you're not crazy about the new game, or for whatever reason you don't care much for The Mandalorian, you might not care so much for the wave. But if you care for any of those things, there's a good figure for whatever you're looking forward to. Even those other two figures are still pretty good. I don't have them, but they're still pretty good, I think. But these figures are also really awesome, and I think it's pretty solid. If you were able to find the figures, it was a pretty solid Force Friday and Force Friday wave. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about the new wave and how your Force Fridays went. Anyways, thank you guys for watching.